Counties in pink, basically the entire area until midnight tonight. 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. The northernmost one is north of Groover. It's slowed its northward or northeastward progression a little bit, but it's just now starting to come across the Texas-Oklahoma border. So it is south and southeast of Guymon, not to Guymon yet, and I think it's going to take some time. But start to listen for some thunder or for some thunder if you are south and southeast or even east of Guymon. That one has the potential to produce at least penny-sized hail and some 60-mile-an-hour winds. There is a severe thunderstorm warning, as it says there, for Beaver, parts of Hansford, Ochiltree, and Texas County. The other one that has just gone severe is just to the south and southeast of Hereford. That one has slowed down a little bit too. It is showing some signs of maybe peaking in its development, but it still has the potential for those 60-mile-an-hour winds and possibly penny to nickel-size hail, or even a little bit larger. It's north of Dimmitt, moving northeastward. This is Highway 60 right here, so we'll watch if it gets any closer to Hereford. But the Highway 60 area between Canyon and Hereford, that's going to include Umbarger, places like that. You'll want to watch for some development there coming in from the south with, again, a severe thunderstorm there. Other storms that are not severe but trying to strengthen in between Hartley in the next 5 or maybe less than 10 minutes. You'll get some rain there. That one also looks like it may have peaked, but there may be a little bit of hail here. So travel in between Hartley and Channing in the next, well, really 30 to 45 minutes to an hour, not advised. That would be an extremely heavy downpour and some small hail, pardon me, small hail possible there. We've got a storm just south of 40 and east of Vega. That one is not severe either, but again, a heavy downpour coming across the highway in the next couple of minutes. New storms developing south of Dimmitt into the Lubbock area, and the direction of travel or motion on those would be north-northeast as well. And just to take a look, there's the lightning output from that storm just north of Dimmitt and south of Hereford. It again is showing some signs. Well, now in the last couple of minutes, I think the lightning output has increased. So again, the same point is that the potential for some strong gusty winds and some hail is definitely there. It's not a big tornado threat. The threat for tornadoes is not zero, but the dynamics are really not there for that type of activity. Of course, we'll continue to watch it. So scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight, some severe. We'll look for a low temperature around 57 degrees. Hit and miss showers and thunder showers, again, possible late in the day tomorrow, but otherwise mostly sunny. We'll go for a high of 82. The dew point and the dry line going to be key for tomorrow. Not really a factor today. These are the current dew points, and you can see that that dry line has gone to the Texas-New Mexico border. It is not moving eastward, but for Thursday, watch what happens by later in the day. I think we're going to see some redevelopment on the dry line by later in the day. That's 3 p.m. right there. So this is for tonight. The Storm Prediction Center's got the yellow area with the highest likelihood of severe weather. Tomorrow, they don't have the yellow area at this point, but the potential for some activity along the dry line later in the day may be there, and they'll update that shortly after midnight tonight. Of course, we'll keep you posted. So let's go with a 30% chance of mainly late-day storms for Thursday. 82 for the high, 40% rain chance on Friday, 63, so a lesser chance of severe weather. Saturday, 50% rain chance. Again, some thunderstorm activity, but severe weather less likely with a high of only 68, then a high of 80 on Saturday, and more scattered showers and thunderstorms next week. Lindsay?
All right, everybody, we're heading back towards Amarillo on 287. So we're heading back south. We were checking out some stuff north. Didn't really pan out, so we just hit the Potter County line, and we're just heading back to Amarillo to kind of keep an eye out around that area.
storm right there.
Yeah.
It wasn't forming until almost
Later.
8 o'clock.
Wind picked up on the Channing storm.
Is that line? Where is that at? That's almost stationary.
Yeah, that's the one between Dimmitt and Hereford.
What's the indication for that? No size. Yeah, when the track's on. That's
Yeah, I do on my phone. Hold on. It's just kind of. It's just chilling.
just chilling.
But. Man.
0.75. What's that North Storm doing? That'll be abandoned.
That one. Inch and a quarter.
About the same.
The Channing one just went severe. Inch and a quarter, 60-mile-an-hour winds.
How's it looking?
So this is the Channing one.
There's a back wire having a hook on it.
Not really.
It looked like it glance.
It did for a second. The Hereford one does.
Oh man.
sucking this one in.
County for strong gusty winds to 60 miles per hour, at least some penny or nickel-sized hail or possibly larger. But we're taking a very close look at this one right now. The western edge of this is out in the open, right in between Hereford and Dimmitt. Right here, we're starting to see a little bit of wrapping, or what we would call a hook. The velocity product is not showing tight rotation yet, but we're watching it very closely. The National Weather Service is watching it very closely. There was a report of a wall cloud or a lowering on the southwestern portion of this storm. So this again is in between Hereford and Dimmitt. It looks to be out in open country, and it's just west of 385 where we've got some heavy rain and some hail. So obviously no travel right now between Hereford and Dimmitt. We're going to keep an eye on this. If we issue a tornado warning, or the Weather Service does, of course, we'll let you know about that. Let's look at the other storms. Northern portion of the region, this one north of Groover, has strengthened with a pretty good hail core. Again, For the most part, out in open country, right on 207, right at the border of Texas and Oklahoma, which is right here. It's drifting very slowly to the north. I do not at this point think it will make it to Guymon, but we start to see some rain on 412 just east of Guymon, so do be aware that that one is there. We're watching that one as well. It's got that same potential for some strong gusty winds and some hail. We have a severe thunderstorm warning on this one now in between Hartley and Channing. That's trying to show a little bit of a hook as well. Not a hook yet, but we'll call that a pendant echo. Not rotation yet. No warning yet other than the severe thunderstorm warning, but we're going to watch that one as well. In Channing, you'll be okay, but in Hartley, the rain should pick up and the potential for some hail in that one here really in the next couple of minutes. So if you want to put the car in the garage, now is the time to do it. That one should stay just to the west of Dumas. Further south, this one is strengthening just east of Vega, right north of Interstate 40, passing just west of Bushland. So that one should go out largely into open country. No threat for Amarillo at this point from any severe weather. Again, we're continuing to watch the lightning output, all of the signs from this, but the lightning output has really increased on that storm in between Hereford and Dimmitt. So that's another sign that it is strengthening and could still produce a tornado. Not really doing it yet, but some signs are there that we're going to watch it very, very closely. As we go into the day tomorrow, the dry line will come eastward and probably kick off some scattered showers and some thunderstorms later in the day. This is 3 p.m. right here. So anywhere from just west of Guymon to near Dumas, west of Borger, through Amarillo, and near and east of Hereford would be under the gun for some potential thunderstorms. Again, watching that storm in between Hereford and Dimmitt. Potential rotation there, not a tornado warning yet. We're going to go to a break. If we need to come back and give you a tornado warning if one is issued, we will do that. We're also streaming on our platforms there. Stay with us at News Channel 10.
All right, so we just hit Amarillo city limits, so we're going to keep trucking south. Runway, dog.
Dog is going out to the street. Should I take? What road? Should I go down to what, Tulia or Happy? Cut over from Happy though.
I'm wondering if because it's just sitting right outside of Hereford. See? And if you go to Happy, you're going to get stuck in all the rain.
Well, there should be a road south of there to Nazareth.
hasn't. See, it really hasn't changed direction yet. So I'm wondering if we still kind of head towards.
Well, I was thinking take that road out of Happy and then drop south.
And then to get on the back side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'll have to drive all the way down to 20 and then over.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Okay.
I would just need, once I get on that road right here, is to find a south road. Preferably paved because that thing's just been sitting. I don't trust any dirt roads out there.
So out of Happy.
Back up traffic. Go. Of course. Always.
Always. Okay, so I'm going to go down to Happy.
Harley Storm. Oh, it's looking interesting.
Which one?
A Harley.
Yeah.
Gosh, that original storm I was on, we were on, estimate hell size 2. Warren from ping pong. There's not even a tour possible tag on that storm.
On the Hereford storm.
Yeah. Through downtown. Sod puddles. Sod puddles.
You gonna sing the song, Alex?
I can't. I'll sing it once I see tornado.
Okay. Still trying to find you a Happy. The only one that I'm really seeing that I think would be paved is 1075.
Oh yeah, that should be paved. Just don't take I-40 westbound. Look at that.
Yeah, that's bad. Stay off of I-40 westbound.
Oh my gosh, look.
It says stand still. Definitely don't want to go down that way.
Bad road.
Very bad road.
It's getting messy.
Yep.
Man. That training storm looks good.
Told you the base was cool. Now it's rotating. I'm telling you, it's one of those days where,
Can't win.
yeah. Let's see, and this one right here is this little guy. Let's see. It's this little guy right here. He's just kind of stuck in the middle, but look, he's getting some hail.
Yeah. I don't know. At this point, what should I have been?
I don't know if he's building or not. Bishop's Hill area maybe getting some rain soon, maybe a little bit of hail. Doesn't look like anything too terribly big. Yeah, that Hereford rotation, it's done for now. Look at that.
Yeah. What's the south of that?
To the south of that,
It's brand new.
there's one that's over by Muleshoe, right behind the current one. That's getting a little bit of a core on it.
That
That's
is a hill.
might dim it. Yeah, that might be what from here. Might be shooting it out the.
Outside.
Yeah.
Turn off special weather statements.
Yeah, I think that Hereford storm's about done
Or is it road? I mean, is it?
for the cycling.
Oh, last game looks pretty impressive. Wow.
Oh yeah.
I think it's cycling.
Onward, southward we go. That's a look at the Hereford storm. Probably do. So
And there's stuff blowing up Happy now. You see that?
huh?
That's blowing where I was going to go.
Oh, and Happy?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just to the west of Happy.
Let's head to Happy. That's still close enough that
Well, what I was going to say is like I had to blast that core right there. Where it's blowing up.
that Amarillo storm just got a special
Yeah, I saw that.
2-inch.
Oh yeah. It's warning?
No, it's just a special. I'm wondering if they're about to warn it.
I thought you said 2-inch.
That's what I said. So, 2 inches. No, 0.75.
Evening, wanted to get you a radar update. Scattered thunderstorms continue on this first alert evening across the Panhandle. This is looking westward from downtown Amarillo, and we've got a strengthening thunderstorm, not severe yet. It's just on the west and northwest side of town. Again, I'll show you that close up on radar in just a second. We've got a cluster of storms at a couple of places to the south and southwest of Amarillo, to the northwest, and then right along the Oklahoma-Texas border, some strong thunderstorms. Let's go to the one that we mentioned a couple of minutes ago, this one in between Hereford and Dimmitt. And it has started to show less of a sign of rotation there. We're still watching it very closely. No tornado warning right now, but definitely a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-an-hour winds, hail that could go to nickel size, or maybe even a little bit larger. Just to get your bearings, it is going to largely stay at this point to the south and southeast of Hereford. It is trying to develop very slowly toward the Highway 60 corridor, so we'll continue to watch that one. This cell just west of Happy is increasing in intensity as well. That one, the bulk of it, should stay to the west of Happy, but move toward 27, possibly toward Canyon as well. In fact, you can see a new updraft there on the either side of Happy. So in Happy, you got a minute or two to put the car in the garage. There will be some hail around, probably just to the west side and east side of town. So we'll keep an eye on that one. But this one, again, this little pendant right here, just west of the highway in between Dimmitt and Hereford, 385. Watching it very closely. It's not a super well-defined tornado outbreak setup, but we did see around Matador some rotation last night, so the potential is there. We're watching it. The Weather Service is watching it as well. This one south of Dimmitt has shown some signs of weakening here, which is good news for Dimmitt, but just south and east of town, there's still be some small hail there. This storm right along the Texas-Oklahoma border is producing probably some, well, might be a small area of up to golf ball size hail just to the southeast of Guyman. Out in open country right now, but to get your bearings, this is the highway in between Groover and Guyman. It's right on the border of Texas and Oklahoma. It is developing to the north and northeast very, very slowly, but rain's going to pick up on Highway 412, so don't travel east out of Guyman or toward Guyman here for at least the next hour with that storm. This one's got a severe warning on it as well. There's no tornado rotation seen at this point, but still some hail possible in and around Hartley. That may go for the next 15 to 20 minutes. It should stay west of Dumas, but in and around Hartley, if you're getting heavy rain, know there may be some Well, some dime-sized hail possible in that one over the next 20 minutes or so. And we'll go back further to the south. This is the one I showed you on the tower cam, just sliding just to the west and northwest of Amarillo. So that one's going to stay outside of the loop. That's the loop 335 right there. The bulk of that will develop northeastward and go across 287, probably near and just south of Masterson. So if you're traveling, people planning to travel north out of Amarillo, let's hold on that for about an hour or so as that one moves on toward the highway. We're going to come back with another radar update. Keep you posted as we go on through the evening here at News Channel 10.
All right. Kevin just had that update. We're about to enter Canyon. The storm you see on our screen is the one that's over by Bishop Hills. Looking like it's got a little bit of hail in it, maybe some wind.
Hartford or no?
Hereford.
Hartford?
Yep. That way, if we have to cut back, we can.
Just hope it doesn't go north.
Well, the problem is if we. Because see, if we go the other way towards Happy, we have to go through all of that.
Well, by that time it couldn't be already. Let's just go for it.
I mean, if you want, we can keep with the Happy plan and just see.
We can do this way. Push the luck. Gambling.
No tornado warnings right now. We're going to go up until prime time and then come back in the first break in prime time unless there's a tornado warning issued. But a quick radar tour right now. Severe thunderstorm watch all across the area. Severe thunderstorm warning for this cell that is sitting right on the highway in between Hereford and Dimmitt. It has showed some signs of trying to rotate. Not well defined yet. We'll continue to watch that. In and around Happy, these two cells are going to move to the north and northeast. So eventually Canyon, but that's more than half hour or 45 minutes away if it holds together, and then on toward Paladuro Canyon as well. Continuing to watch this one right near 385 in between Dimmitt and Hereford. New storms developing, but not severe at this point. South of Dimmitt, some rain could pick up west of Nazareth. This storm on the Texas-Oklahoma border should stay to the east of Guyman, but is likely producing at least some nickel-size hail as it moves just to the east of town. This one shows some signs of strengthening near Hartley. As I mentioned, over the next 20 to 30 minutes, you could have periods of some small to medium-sized hail. Keep in mind, that's going to stay there for another 20 to 30 minutes. This storm now has a severe thunderstorm warning on it just on the northwest side of Amarillo. It is going to move across the highway from near Masterson, just north and south, and the north side of town. The head part of that one is right there. So out in open country and moving just to the northwest of, I guess, Bishop Hills and then north of Tascosa Road. It's going to go across 287. So let's not travel north out of Amarillo or south toward Amarillo. We're going to keep you posted. Again, I'll come back. We'll go ahead into prime time. I'll come back during the first commercial break and give you an update. So thank you for staying with us. We're streaming online as well. We'll be back here at News Channel 10.
Cool. Thanks, Jacob. west on 60 towards Hereford.
The issue there is 385 curves, and it goes right into the core. It will be right in the bear's cage. Like poking the bear.
Like poking the bear. It's just not. See, now it's kind of pointing in a northwesterly direction. That's pretty.
Point the camera to it.
getting more impressive rotation.
Go figure.
Bump in there.
Right, and even.
It's an unlevel road.
That's some fire. Oh, wait. Oh. That's boom.
Bunch of crazy things happening today.
Yeah, kid. We were down this road. We were coming from Clovis, and Colin and I. The guy had a toolbox in the back of his trailer. I got one thing put in bed, and it was the lid was flapping. We're like, oh man, that's terrible. And
okay,
he was going like 90. What's up?
Jacob just letting us know about a cut in.
So it was flapping. The guy was going like 90. And all of a sudden, you just see this like cloud of like dust. And the toolbox went flying, landed right in the middle of the road.
Middle of the road. Williams Hills one is pretty much passed through at this point. So they just severe warned the one right behind it. So. Building.
Well, good evening once again. We've got some hailing thunderstorms across the region. We are not looking at any tornadoes at this moment in time. Sorry about that. Not looking at any tornadoes at this moment in time. A couple of these storms have showed some signs that they're wanting to rotate. Not having too much luck with that, thankfully. So let's do a little radar tour here. The one we were most concerned about has weakened with regard to its rotation potential. That was just to the south of Hereford, right along the highway in between Hereford and Dimmitt. The hail core is to the east of the highway and south of 60, but really has slowed down. There's still some movement toward the Highway 60 corridor. So northeast of Hereford, do keep in mind that that cell may be coming. This has increased over Happy, and you're obviously, if you're watching, you're getting some heavy rain, maybe a little bit of hail mixed in. The forward motion on that one has slowed a little bit as well, but south of Canyon, either side of 27, know that that storm is coming with at least some dime-size hail possible. Largely producing some larger hail. Near and just to the south and southeast of Dimmitt right now is this cell. So there's going to be probably, well, up to a couple of ping pong ball size hailstones with this one as it moves across the highway. That's 86 in between Dimmitt and Nazareth. So don't travel west, obviously, out of Nazareth. But if you are right along the highway east of Dimmitt and not getting hail right now, the potential is going to be there for at least 15 to 20 minutes. The storm we've been watching across the northern portion of the region has finally crossed out of Texas and into Oklahoma, and that's going to stay just to the east, thankfully, of Guyman. So here's 94, here's 412. It's heading for that intersection right now. It should stay south of Hooker. It should stay south of Guyman, but some scattered showers will still be possible in those areas. It's been moving so slowly, I'm not going to call anything for Turpin right now or west of Balco or Beaver, but know that thunderstorms are out there. We'll be giving radar updates through the evening. This cell had the potential for some ping pong ball size hail as well, just to the southeast of Hartley. In Hartley, if you had rain and hail, if it's not over yet, it should end in the next couple of minutes. But this trajectory is going to take it now getting closer to Dumas. It's still 15, 20 to 30 minutes away, and eventually at least 30 minutes away from Cactus. But in Cactus and Dumas, know that that thunderstorm cell is out there and may produce some strong gusty winds and some hail. I'm also watching this little pendant right here. It's not showing strong signs of rotation right now, but we, of course, in the Weather Service are watching that. The storm that slid just to the west and northwest side of Amarillo is moving away from town right now. It will be crossing over the next 10 to 15 minutes Highway 287 in between Amarillo. That's the loop right there, and then south of Masterson. So anybody on the east side of 287, eventually toward Fritch, but that's still at least 45, well, it's moving a little quicker. Let's say half hour to 45 minutes away. Know that that one's out there as well. We got scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for the next couple of hours at least. Some of them could be severe. We're going to keep you posted. I'll have an update in just a couple of minutes.
What's up, Kyle? Yeah, so far, I think so. It's one of those chase and then chase and then chase.
There are lots of miles so far.
Lots of miles. I gotta switch earbuds. This one's about to die. severe warning to this mule shoot one too. So I wonder if that one. Man, look at the hail.
Made the mistake. Made a mistake in that. Isn't there a way around Hartford?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's where that light is. Where that guy's stopped up there. See how they're crossing the tracks?
Yeah.
I think it's that way. That would take us.
Yeah. Hold on to whatever you got. Rainbow.
Yep.
Yeah.
You want me to grab it? Or there, that's our bad side, isn't it?
Well, look at the rain and hail.
Yeah.
It's causing a double rainbow.
All right, buddy. Thanks. Can tell it's been dumping for a while.
Yeah.
Well, good evening. Kevin Selly in the weather office going to take over the stream for a minute. We've been watching Alex and Caleb of our staff drive around, get you some pictures of some of these storms. But some of these are producing some very large hail and some strong gusty winds. So we're going to take a little radar tour here over the next couple of minutes to try and get an idea where these are and where they are heading. So here's the broad view. And by the way, pretty much all of the region, our region, Texas and Oklahoma, under a severe thunderstorm watch. And that will be in effect until midnight tonight. Officially, Dallam and the far western portion of the Oklahoma Panhandle, Cimarron counties are not included, but thunderstorms are certainly possible as we go on through the next couple of hours. Let's go to the north and start working our way southward. This storm that is near Hardesty right now is producing at least some ping pong ball size hail and perhaps golf ball size a little bit larger. It is about to move just to the west side of Hardesty. If you know anybody in Hardesty, or if you're watching from Hardesty, if it's raining now, there is some hail coming, especially on the west side and the northwest side, eventually north side of town, and it will be large, it will be damaging. Some strong gusty winds, perhaps towards 60 miles per hour, will be included in that. It's not showing any signs of rotation at this point, so the tornado threat for all of these is not zero, but it is pretty low. So in Hardesty, west, northwest, north side of Hardesty, you have got some large hail coming your way. There's obviously a severe thunderstorm warning there. That hail could go to golf ball size or perhaps a little larger. Let's work our way to the southwest. This storm had it had the potential and was likely producing some ping pong ball size hail in between Hartley and Dumas. It looks like it's slowed down for a little while and now has reorganized. There's a couple of things I want to keep an eye on with regard to this storm. I'm going to stop the motion in just a second, but the general direction again is northeast. So in Hardesty, if you got rain and or hail, you're in the clear now. That storm has moved away from you, but the northeastward motion is going to start to bring it over the next 30 minutes close to Dumas and also close to Cactus. First, it would be some rain, some thunder and lightning. There's plenty of lightning with these. And then the hail potential would pick up. But that's, I think, for Dumas and Cactus, that's at least 30 minutes away. So there's plenty of time to bring in the garbage cans or get the car in the garage if you want. But do know that that is coming and moving in your direction. Again, approaching from the southwest and moving to the northeast. Here's the motion. The hail core in the last image maybe has diminished a little bit, but that ping pong ball size hail is absolutely going to be possible with that storm, again, for Cactus and for Dumas. We had a storm scrape the edge of Amarillo, the western and northwestern edge, now moving away from town. There is a severe thunderstorm warning on that one, again, for 60-mile-an-hour winds and perhaps up to quarter-size hail. The hail core on that one is not quite as threatening. It is moving away from the populated areas of Potter County, but it is crossing right now 87 north of Amarillo around Masterson, and then will eventually, let's pause this one and I'll give you an idea where that one is going. With this northeast motion, now we're heading toward Lake Meredith and toward Fritch and Sanford. So if I run this in motion again, you can kind of see the direction. Anywhere west of Fritch, that's 30 to 40, 45 minutes away. Same story for Sanford. We'll keep you updated. We'll be back certainly before it gets to you and give you an update on that one. Let's find some other storms and talk about especially south of Amarillo now. Let's go to this strongest one that's in our area and zoom in to this storm. There's two of them. I'm going to talk about this one first. It's in between Hereford and Dimmitt. That's been on the highway right in between town. There's still a hail core there, but it's out in between the two towns and moving to the northeast. So it really hasn't made too much of a threat to Highway 60, which is this line right here. But again, you can see on the motion, it's moving to the northeast. So let me drag this down a little bit further to the south and talk about Canyon. Still 30 minutes away, but the potential for that storm with some large hail to move in is definitely there. And then also we've got this one that is in around Happy. This is right over town and developing north of town. So once again, some ping pong ball size hail possible. And that's going to be right on the highway. In fact, and then to the west side of the highway. But this is going to move northeastward. So no travel now, obviously in and around Happy, because you're getting it. And that's going to last for Happy. Let me mention you for a minute or two here. It's going to last for another 5 or 10 minutes. You'll get a bit of a break. There are more storms to your southwest coming through. So don't think once it ends, it will be over. Don't travel southward out of Canyon. If you know anybody planning that, that's not going to be a good idea because we're going to have that hail core move across the highway 27 and then move toward Paladuro Canyon. Then we'll come back to this cell here, which had shown some signs of rotation earlier. That has diminished a little bit, but the ping pong ball size hail threat continues, and that's staying mainly south of 60 and is thankfully bypassing Hereford. So Hereford, you're okay right now. No threat to you from that storm, which will stay to your east. This one's producing a lot of hail in and around Dimmitt and west of Nazareth, again continuing a northeastward motion. So Dimmitt, you may have had some rain. It's probably going to fill back in here in the next couple of minutes. And that hail potential just south of town, in town, southeast and east, eventually northeast of town, is going to increase. That ping pong ball size hail threat is going to be there too. In fact, just for a little science, since we've got the extra time here, I'm going to pause this, and we were just talking about this here in the office. I want to call out this feature right here.
John's getting some hail.
And where is he? John, our chaser's getting some hail?
He's just outside of Dimmitt.
Okay, so this is probably the one we're talking about right now. Our chaser, John, is there. Can we punch him up on Zoom?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Right.
Yeah, there he is.
Right now we got about golf balls. Oh, this is going to get really bad.
A quick glance at the forecast for Hereford, Dimmitt, Freeholder, and overnight. Then a slight chance of thunderstorms after midnight. Some thunderstorms may be severe with damaging winds and large hail. And some thunderstorms may be severe. Lows in the mid-50s. Southeast wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 20%. The National Weather Service has issued severe thunderstorm watch number 164.
Currently located just south of Dimmitt, Texas.
This watch includes the following counties in Texas.
We want to take a look at
Weather chat.
Weather Service chat. Yeah.
They canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Hanfords and northwestern Ochiltree.
Ochiltree and Hansford counties, severe thunderstorm warning canceled. No mentions of any rotations, though, since we've been kind of looking more at reflectivity as opposed to. Okay. Well, I think what I'll do is we'll go back out, spend another minute here, and let's do a velocity tour here. We can talk about the potential rotation. Again, this is not a real good setup for tornadoes. They are unlikely, but not impossible. So what I'm going to do here is change over to the velocity product. And you've seen this when we've shown tornadoes, but let's drill down on our northern storm. What we're looking for is bright areas of red next to bright areas of green. That's air and raindrops moving toward and away from the radar site. So I'm just going to kind of do a tour on all of our storms and see if we see anything with regard to any rotation. I don't on this storm near Hardesty. Again, we still have that hail potential. Let's move southwestward, south of Stratford, into our Dumas storm. Okay, this is what we're talking about here. Let me zoom in on this. And I'm going to pause it and do a little telestrating. That's red. That's, well, it just moved. The new image just came in. That's red, meaning raindrops moving away from the radar site. This green is moving toward the radar site. So now, in a broad sense, we can sort of interpret some rotation or possible rotation higher up in the storm. No tornado, no low-level rotation. Could be some lowerings. We did have a report a little earlier of a wall cloud, but what we need to see for that to become a threat is these areas of red and green to converge closer together. See how they're further outside? So no tornado threat now on that storm that is southwest of Dumas, but it is moving
John's
to the
windshield
northeast.
just broke.
Oh, go ahead and take it back. We can,
Yeah.
Source, radar indicated. Impact, people and animals outdoors will be injured. Expect hail damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Happy. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building.
Yeah, I'm in Dorothy right now.
Remains in effect until 8:15 p.m. for eastern Oldham, Potter, and southern Moore counties.
Definitely 2.5-inch hail right now.
The storm was located 10 miles southeast of Valley St. Oil, or 12 miles.
I'm gonna. Oh, fuck!
20 miles per hour.
That just came in.
50 miles per hour gust and asphalt size hail.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose the entirety of this windshield here.
Hail damage to vehicles is expected. Locations.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting sprayed here.
Valley, Lake Meredith.
I'm gonna lose that back window if I'm not careful.
For your protection, move to an interior room.
Yeah, it's getting up to like baseball size. There's nothing I can fucking do.
And mainly flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle on the roadways. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 7:45 p.m. for southwestern Rental and southeastern Desmond counties. 7:18 p.m. A severe thunderstorm
Back window's holding up so far.
15 miles southeast of Canyon, moving more than 10 miles per hour.
Windshield's fucked.
On all sides, hail and 60 miles per hour gust. Source, radar indicated. Impact, minor damage to roof, siding, and trees is possible. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 8:15 p.m. for central
Radar. Keep an eye on John.
Yes,
There's another crack in there, too. Well, I'm going to go back to him.
southeast of Dennis, moving to 10 miles per hour. This is a destructive storm.
Okay, let's come back to radar. I want to finish our little rotation, our little velocity tour. Certainly no rotation threats in and around Amarillo. Let's move down to our Dimmitt storm. No rotation threats there, just some brief chaotic gusty winds. And so what I will do is go back to our reflectivity product, and let's focus in on where John is. He's either north or south of town. He's either under this or under this, which is far stronger. I'll run that in motion for you. So that is going to be on Highway 194 southeast of Dimmitt that you travel toward Hart. So that he could be on that road right now. I hope that he's not under that strongest core there. I'll pause this again. We'll just point out a couple of features. This is 194. Oh, the new image just came in, so I'm going to actually back it up once. But let's come back and go back one image. This purple area right here, the darker purple, right there, that is very, very, very strong hail reflectivity core there. That's probably, I'm just going to do a little analysis since we're kind of on the fly and just talking here. Yeah, 73 dBz. There could be close to some tennis ball size hailstones in there. In the next picture that just came in, the next image, it did seem to weaken a little bit, but now you can see where that hail core is reaching in toward and around Dimmitt. So if you're in Dimmitt and you're getting that hail, this is a real slow mover. I think you maybe have at least 10 minutes of this before it moves on to the northeast of town. We're still getting our three-body spike right here. In fact, a pretty broad one. So yeah, that hail is up there, and it's going to continue to come out both on 194 and 86, just on the east side, in Dimmitt, the east side of Dimmitt, and then west of Nazareth. So please no travel in that direction. Let's get an idea of what we're talking about in Happy. Ooh, that one's increased now as well. Yeah, what we just mentioned there with regard to traveling on 27 southward toward Happy, coming north out of Happy. Well, let me address in Happy right now. You're coming to the end of the hail. It's going to move north of town in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So if you're getting it and you can hang on, give it another 5, 10, 15 minutes at the outside. But now what we're seeing is an increase in the amount of that purple color, the heavier DBZs, the amount of area being covered by that hail. And that's going to move northeastward toward Paladuro Canyon. Let me expand the view a little bit. So here's Canyon, obviously. The canyon's going to be here. Let me run that in motion for you. That hail core is increasing in intensity and strength and is moving northeastward. So anywhere south, southwest, western side of Paladuro Canyon, and there's some home developments east of town, some newer ones, especially east of town as well. You may not get the bulk of this, but know that it is coming and moving just to your east and southeast. So if you want to make any preparations for some large hail south, southeast, and east of Canyon, in and around Paladuro Canyon, let's go ahead and do that now because it's coming your way. Give it 10 to 15 minutes. Most of that seems to be staying south for the time being of Lake Tanglewood. All right, checking on the chat.
North of Happy, we got nickel-sized hail, and they're monitoring Paladuro Canyon for possible flood risk.
Which is just what we were talking about. Jacob's giving me the information from the Weather Service chat. Is that a confirmation of nickel size? A report of it? Yeah. So they got a report of nickel size hail there. There are spots where it's clearly going to be larger. Okay, let's kind of bring the view out again. I'm going to come back to Dimmitt in a couple of minutes, but boy, that is going to be a nasty hail core there. Let's check on John.
Hazard, 60 miles per hour with gust and half-dollar size hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, minor damage to roof, siding, and trees if possible.
Damn it.
Hail damage to vehicles is expected. Locations impacted include Masterson, Four-Way, Valley Bay, and Lake Meredith. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Torrential rainfall is occurring with this storm and may lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 8:15.
Here we go, guys.
For central Castro County.
2.5-inch hail.
29 p.m.
That is some monsters.
Located 5 miles
Oh my God, I am covered in glass.
10 miles for hours.
There's glass everywhere.
This is a destructive storm for Vincent Nazareth. Hazard. Baseball size hail.
Yeah, no shit.
Okay, this is the weather atlas. John has gone off of that, but he had some tennis ball size hail. Again, that was around Dimmitt. So here's the weather atlas there in Hereford. They must be.
Flooding.
It says on the screen there, Hereford. That either, I don't know exactly where they are, but it's either south or east of town. Hereford proper, you're in the clear right now for the time being. Doesn't mean a new storm might not come along a little bit later, but for right now, Hereford, you are in the clear. I think the happy storm is dumping its hail load right now. I see the DBZs coming down a little bit, indicating that that hail is no longer aloft. But as I mentioned, happy, Palo Duro Canyon, anywhere on the western, especially southern, southwestern side of the canyon, there is some hail coming in your direction here. All right, let's back out a little bit, see what else we got coming. I'll back up to our storm that's north of Amarillo and crossing Highway 87.
They're south of Hereford right now.
Okay, south of Hereford. Thank you.
John's moving again.
Okay, let's go back to take that. Okay, this is the storm that is on the north side of Amarillo. And the heaviest part of that, still easily some I'll say P to dime size hail, is about to cross Highway 87 north of Amarillo, but south of Masterson. That is a severe warned storm, so it also could have some up to 60-mile-an-hour
They're about
winds.
to severe warn the storm near Happy.
Yep, that's going to be for Palo Duro Canyon, so new severe thunderstorm warning coming there. What is the next TV break?
Look at my stuff. That's gonna be 7:41.
Let's take that. That's in 2 minutes. Can we do it?
Yeah,
Where is Jackie?
I'll find her.
We want to take this break in 2 minutes, please. What we're doing, folks, is coordinating with the TV side, and we can do an update there. So I will pause for a minute. Let's put it back on the chaser and kill.
All right.
I should be able to take this to 86. And bear in mind our location. We are northwest of Dimmitt.
Yeah, Jacob, we're northwest of Dimmitt at the moment, if y'all need our location. Yeah, we're coming on right next to it. My location's correct. Right there.
Try to pull us.
Well, good evening once again. Want to get you a radar update. Before I do that, I'll remind you that we've got a stream going and we're doing more information, more analysis there on our website and Facebook page. And so that is there for you if you want to continue to follow this. But for right now, let's do a little radar tour. The entire area, Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma Panhandle, most of them are, most of the counties are under a severe thunderstorm watch, and that will go at this point until midnight tonight. We have seen evidence from one of our chasers, John Doherty, in and around Dimmitt of at least tennis ball size hailstones, and a number of them. He's got a cracked windshield and some dents in his car, I'm sure, from that. Our weather atlas is there as well. We're streaming that. They said they were just northwest of town. So north of town, right on the highway there, in between Dimmitt and Hereford, we continue to see some extremely heavy rain and hail where you see the purple color. This has been drifting or developing extremely slowly off to the northeast. So in Nazareth, if you're getting some rain, know that you could start to see a few small to medium-sized hailstones there, but most of the bulk of this should now stay to the east, northeast, and north of Dimmitt. And in Dimmitt proper, if you're getting hail right now, hang on for another 10 to 15 minutes at the outside, and that should develop away from you, but continue just to the northeast side of town. New severe thunderstorm warning around Happy, and that extends into and through Paladuro Canyon, that orange box right there, but extremely heavy rain, and again, the potential for a couple of tennis ball size hailstones with that. So here's the closer view on Dimmitt. Now let's go to the north. This cell still has a small hail core just to the east of Guyman. There's a new cell developing there. That doesn't have any hail in it at this point, but given what we've seen, some pea-size hail is not out of the question from east side to northeast side of Guyman. That cell's going to move toward Hooker right along Highway 54, so keep that one in mind. This cell has the potential also for at least some ping pong ball size hail. I think we're probably seeing it dump its hail core right now just west of Dumas, but the slow evolution will take it closer to Dumas, moving away from Hartley, and rain will pick up in Cactus here over the next 10 to 15 minutes. That hail potential is there on that thunderstorm as well. So once again, we're streaming. We'll keep you posted there. I'll come back here in prime time and give you another radar update. But again, the entire area, severe thunderstorm watch. Primary threats are strong gusty winds to 60 miles per hour or even a little bit higher, and some large hail. Tornado threat is low but not zero. We're watching very closely for those. We'll be back in just a little bit with another update here at News Channel 10.
I've never seen that. That's crazy. It's just hanging out there too.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Roll that beautiful boat.
To make a decision here.
Look, there's another. Look.
Yeah.
Rising scud.
Yeah. Oh man, it's tightening up.
Yep.
Right over there.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
even more. Right over Dimmitt. Just be able to turn where we can see. Let's see, because we're in a good spot.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, I want to jump in with a report from our chaser, Scotty Vanderford. He is north of Happy, 87. He's on 87, and if you look at the very bottom of your screen, that's the road, and it's covered with hail. He's not driving in the hail right now, but this is the storm that we mentioned a few minutes ago in and around the Happy area and north of town, moving northeastward toward Paladuro Canyon. So again, it's at the very bottom of your screen there. You can see that hail is covering the road. Scotty says he's on 87 north of Happy. I'm going to presume heading northward, kind of chasing the backside of the storm. So the hail threat obviously is very real there. I think what we're going to do is come back to radar and talk about what we can see on that while I move Scotty's feed out of the way. So let's get to that particular storm. Good news is that it has dumped its hail core, which we said a few minutes ago, and that's what came over on the highway. But let's zoom in on this storm right here.
Just double checking. That's Scott, right? Over in Dimmitt.
Well, is that John again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see any rotation there.
Okay.
But I'll keep me honest on that. Yeah, Scud right now, but remind me of that in just a second, Jacob. Thank you. Okay, so get your bearings on this feed right here. This is Happy. You know what I'm going to do? Let's do this. I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to open GR Analyst instead, because that's going to give us a little bit better mapping. I'm just monkeying with the different radars here for a second, folks, so I can get you a better picture. I'm going to go here, and we're going to go here. Okay. So let's talk about the Happy storm for a minute. So you see Happy in the lower center of your screen, then Canyon. Metro Canyon, downtown Canyon, if you will, is not going to feel this particular cell. You're not necessarily out of the woods for a little later, but let me run this in motion for you. And you'll see if I get a couple of extra images in here, let that populate with a few images. The point I wanted to make is what Scotty was driving through was hail covering the road. That was on this loop at the beginning. See, in Happy and north of Happy, that bright pinky purple color, that was the hail coming out of the storm. You see now that there is very little of it. So my point there is that's good for areas to the south, southwest, west of Canyon and Paladuro Canyon, in that the heaviest hail core has now come out of that storm. Heavy rain will still fall, and some pea to dime-sized hailstones are possible, and it's in a severe thunderstorm warning, but anywhere around Canyon, good news is the intensity of that storm has diminished a little bit. The further good news for Happy is you are out of that particular cell. I know it came down very hard and very scary, but you are out of that particular cell. What we're going to watch over the next couple of hours is new ones to develop. And if you look, Happy's in the center of your screen. Let me zoom in a little bit. There's another hail core developing just to the south of town. It's on the west side of 27, but you see the pink coming in there toward the end. Let me stop the loop for you. So south of Happy, that's maybe 5 miles south of Happy, there's another cell just to the southeast of town. So you're not necessarily done. So if you need to go out and take a look around the property very quickly in Happy, you can do that, but only spend a minute or two. Watch out for downed power lines. Watch out for anything that's been broken, been stripped off of the barn or the house that could be sharp. Don't go out in your slippers. Put on some heavy shoes, but know that another hail core, a smaller one at this point, is heading in your direction. So Happy, be prepared in the next 15 to 20 minutes at the outside for that next hail core to come on through. Let's go further to the southeast and talk about the incredible hail. And we saw this from John. What's on John's feed right now?
I think it's
Oh, that's where you were saying, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna check on that. Let me get my computer. We're just kind of unfolding this live here. We have multiple screens and we're trying to keep up with all of them, but I want to look at the velocity product on Dimmitt storm and get you an analysis of that if anybody's watching in Dimmitt.
Kevin,
Yes, sir.
I got a new severe thunderstorm warning in Moore, Dallin, Hartley, and Sherman.
Okay, thank you. We'll go up there in just a minute. Thank you for that. Okay. What I'm looking for is rotation near Dimmitt. Let's go, where is this where is John? Yeah, where's John?
Yeah, I got it. Just a sec. Okay.
Cushion from each stone.
Hey, that's John. How you doing, Jamie? Man, all time.
Well, I can tell you, I can always get on a super self.
He's probably checking out his car. Okay, so that's our situation north of Dimmitt. In Dimmitt, again, you have just missed the heaviest hail core. It's gone just to the east of town. That's that purple color that's west of Nazareth, but those are going to continue to follow the path of the other ones, moving northeastward, and should sort of thread the needle well in between Hereford and Happy. So thankfully not going directly over any populated areas, with the exception of Happy. But Hereford, again, you continue to remain in the clear for this minute, but do know there are other storms just to the south and southeast that could be moving in your direction. So again, these hail cores are really serious. We've seen tennis ball to baseball size hail in a couple of spots. Just in the last couple of minutes in Hardesty, we got golf ball size hail. So let me come back to the radar scope product, and we will go check out some other storms across the northern portion of the region. Okie dokie. I'm going to go a little further north and check on Hardesty. And we did have a report of golf ball size hail in Hardesty right now. So that's this storm right here. Golf ball size hail. Where is it going? Excellent question. It's going to the northeast. So in Hardesty, your hail should come to an end here in the next 5 to 10 minutes at the outside. But that storm is moving northeastward. And so east and northeast of town, that hail core is going to be moving in your direction here as we go on through the next couple of minutes. But that one is producing some golf ball size hail. It is obviously severe thunderstorm warned. It will stay to the east of Guyman. I know you've had some rain in Guyman, got some right now. That's going to end in the next couple of minutes here. Rain will pick up in Optima. A pea-sized hailstone or two is possible in Optima. And then Hooker, you would be next in line. That's probably still 10 to 15 minutes away. Turpin, not under immediate threat. That storm's probably 40 to 45 minutes away from you. But do know, again, in Hardesty, we've got some golf ball size hail that will start to taper off here in the next 5 to 10 to 15 minutes at the outside. But we don't want to travel toward Hardesty from the east or move away from Hardesty heading out to the east. Let's go back to the southwest a little bit, check on our storms that we had talked about moving through Hartley. That one's strengthening a little bit. It's going to stay just to the east of Dalhart, but see the purple coming in there. That's going to be a hail core that's going to go on the road in between Dalhart and Cactus. The bulk of that particular cell should stay to the west of Cactus, but there's another cell to the southwest of town, and that's still easily 8-10 miles away. It does show some signs of weakening a little bit, but in Cactus, your rain's going to pick up. Potential for some hail is going to pick up in the next, say, 20 minutes or so. I'm real worried about that Hartley, or that hail core north of Hartley. That's increasing in intensity, showing our three-body scatter spike that we talked about a little earlier. Thankfully, that cell will stay to the east of Dalhart. All right, moving back to the south, the storm that went past Amarillo is weakening as it gets past the 87 corridor south of Masterson, so no worries there, and that's good news for Lake Meredith and Fritch. Some rain, but that cell has weakened. I can't even see any hail coming out of that one, so Fritch and Sanford, areas west of Borger, that storm's weakening. Doesn't appear to be a threat to you at this point in time. Let's go back to the south, check on our Happy area storm and Paladuro Canyon storm. Again, the storm that put down easily tennis ball size hail is weakened as it went through Happy, but Happy, you're going to have another round from really 2 hail cores here, one just on the east side of town, and then one that is south of town and west of the 27 highway. So another round of hail. If you were anywhere from Happy to 5 to 10 miles south, another round of at least quarter-size hail is going to come through here in the next 5 to 10 minutes, if not immediately. And I see a new pictures come in just south of Happy with another hail core there increasing. So in Happy as well, as I said a few minutes ago, you have that potential for another round. In fact, it looks like it's going to be likely for another round of hail coming through Happy. Our extremely large hail and wide coverage hailstorms that are moving now away from Dimmitt are moving off to the northeast. So you could catch a few hailstones in Nazareth and then west and northwest and north of town. That potential will pick up a little bit, but we are looking at that extremely large hail and a large area of hail continuing to come down. There's a new image again, so it gives us a chance to talk about the 3-body scatter spike again. Let me pause this. Now this one, let me loop it one or twice more. Okay, that's going to move slowly, but I think I want to raise the level of threat for Nazareth a little bit. Extremely low movement, forward movement on these, but in and around Nazareth, if you know somebody there, I'm talking about, let me just zoom in on it, this hail core now too. And you can see Nazareth in the north center part of your screen. The darker purple is, again, we're probably back to tennis ball, baseball size hail, if not even a little bit larger. And that 3-body scatter spike that we talked about right there. If you're just joining, it's a radar effect where the radar beam comes out of the radar, bounces off of some of the hail in the storm. Some of that reflectivity or that beam goes back and bounces off the ground, comes back to the hail core, and then goes back to the radar site again. And what that's telling us is there's a large hail core developing aloft, and it's about to come down. So that's why I'm worried about Nazareth right now with this storm cell, whoops, right there. What's the next TV break, please? We're at 8 o'clock, so probably a little after 8.
8:10.
Let's take that one, please, if you can find Jackie. And I'm going to check on our friends with the National Weather Service and see what information we're getting from them. We have something called the National Weather Service Chat. It's for media partners, emergency management partners, and the Weather Service, where we can communicate behind the scenes directly with them, and they're continuously feeding us information and their thoughts about what types of warnings may come out. Again, the good news is the rotation threat that we'd seen on a couple of these, which was never great but had increased a little bit, that's decreasing. I don't see any rotation on any of these in the last bit, so that's good news. And as we get closer to and past sunset, that will continue to be the case, where I think the tornado threat is certainly much lower. Continuing to watch it, of course. Don't see any new information on the chat right now, so we'll go back to what are our chasers doing? Where's the Atlas? They're in Dimmitt. They're not showing anything particularly heavy, but we can take them. I got it. And that's the picture from our weather Atlas. Alice Ricarte, Caleb Leslie, showing a lot of, we call sometimes SLC, scary looking clouds. They're not in a hail core right now. I don't have an exact position on them. That brown in the upper left is a little bit interesting to me. Sometimes you can get some dust to kick up, and that sort of turns the clouds a little bit brown, so there could be a little bit of mud rain like we had about a week and a half ago across a good portion of Amarillo. So some brown rain could be falling out of there in the next little bit. But their location is being reported there as US Route 385 in Castro County. So good look at what they're doing there. All right, let's come back to radar. We'll go around and do our tour again. I'm going to do a broad view and let you, well, I can't, I've lost control over, oh, it's because of this, of the radar. I'm going to let you take a look at that for a minute and loop it while I do some analysis of some of these storms on the side. And what I'm going to do is just look for some rotation. Wow, there's a picture in the chat just south of Dumas looking straight west. So we'll go to Dumas here in just a second, but I want to do a little bit of analysis on my own here so I can speak intelligently of what we're talking about. We'll do a radar tour in just a minute. Okay, so increasing hail core, no rotation at this moment, but not out of the question around Dumas. Okay, since I saw a impressive looking storm picture in Dumas, from Dumas rather, looking westward, that's coming into town. There's going to be some quarter-size hail minimum coming through Dumas in the next 10 to 15 minutes, especially southwest, west, and northwest side of town. So do not travel, please, westward on 87 from Dumas toward Hartley, because Dumas, your rain is going to pick up in the next couple of minutes, and the hail potential, with again that large hail potential picking up in the next, say, 10 to 15 minutes at the outside. So in Dumas, if you hadn't had anything particularly heavy at this point, that's going to change. So you've got a minute or two, 3 or 4 to make your preparations. If you know anybody in Dumas who might not be watching, they can punch up the stream. We'll try and go on TV. Did we find a time? 8:10?
8:10.
Yeah, we'll be on TV in about 7 minutes. So anybody that doesn't have access to the 6 minutes, anybody that doesn't have access to the stream, you want to get on the phone in Dumas and call and let them know that we'll be on TV and have an update there in just a few minutes. So that one is holding its own. So again, I think it's going to start to drop some hail in and west and southwest of Dumas in the next couple of minutes. Also, another big hail core moving in between Cactus and Dalhart. We're talking about this one right there. That would be easily ping pong ball size hail, and it's showing some signs. There's again that 3-body scatter spike, so showing signs that that hail core is aloft and may come down right on the highway in between Dalhart and Cactus. Dalhart, you're okay. East of town, say 5-6 miles at the outside, you're definitely not okay, so you don't want to travel east out of Dalhart, west out of Cactus. That extremely strong hail core is going to go across the highway here in the next couple of minutes. I'm going to check on our friends at the Weather Service, and I'm just kind of rotating through our sources here. Just a note, northern portion of Potter County had been under a severe thunderstorm warning. You've been cleared from that because we'd showed that that cell had weakened a good bit. Watching the Dumas storm a little closer. Yes, ma'am. Can do it for 5 minutes? Okay, we'll be on TV in about 5 minutes. Just because I'm watching on several different radar products here, I want to mention Dumas again. What we look for rotation, well, let me go ahead and switch to the velocity product. What I got my eye on right now is southwest of Dumas. It is not showing signs of a tornado, but there is some rotation there, right there, moving northeastward. It's about, let me do a little measurement here. From Dumas, that is inside of 10 miles right now, southwest of Dumas, moving to the northeast. There is some broad, what we call notching or inflow on the storm that I want to watch. It's not a tornado at this point, but I'm going to watch that. So another warning for Dumas that that storm is heading in your direction. Yes, sir.
Dave is done with his thing. Do you want him to head back up here, or do you want him to go somewhere?
If he wants to chase, let me think. I don't know that he would catch up. I mean, I guess south. Yeah, if he went through Canyon to Happy and wants to chase, that would be the thing I think that he has the most likelihood of catching.
Okay.
Okay, how far are we from?
I haven't got another time to
Okay.
Go to Canyon through Happy.
3.5.
They're saying your best. He's saying your best chance to catch something in a chase is to head through Canyon to Happy.
Okay, now I got to get to this other computer. Oh, let's go back to the stream. We're going to go back to the stream.
Look.
Yes, sir.
Zoom in on it, see.
That was pretty pointy. Look at these hailstones.
They big?
Yeah.
Were they bigger than the other ones?
No, about the same, just more defined. Rolling up.
Still showing some rotation in that northern storm.
Yeah. Well, see, you've got, it's feeding it.
Yeah. We'll go up here where the port is past the.
I could be wrong, but I'm just wondering. Tour vans.
So where the port is past. Go check the hill.
Yeah, we can. Let's get past this tanker truck.
Are they, how big are they?
Golf balls.
Oh, there's a big one right there.
Quickly measure. Okay.
So we can report it.
Well, good evening once again. Wanted to get you an update on TV. We've also been streaming on our Facebook page and NewsChannel10.com, but want to do a little radar tour on TV here. Pretty much the entire area, everything in the pink is severe thunderstorm watch that continues until midnight tonight. Let's do a little radar tour. We'll start in the northern portion of the Texas Panhandle, in and around Dumas and just to the east of Hartley. This cell out in open country northeast of Hartley is moving away from town, so you're okay, but rain is going to pick up in Cactus. And we're also looking for rain to increase in intensity in the next couple of minutes in Dumas. And I'm also watching the southwestern portion of this storm. It's not a real good or favorable setup for tornadoes, but some of these have tried to rotate a little bit broadly, so we're keeping a very close eye on that. I want you to be aware of that in Dumas. Rain will pick up. There will be some hail, and the intensity or the size of that hail appears to be going down a little bit, but easily some quarter-size hailstones are likely in Dumas over the next probably 15 to 20 minutes, if not 30 at the outside because of the slow motion of this storm. Once the hail starts to loosen up, don't necessarily take that as the end. We're going to watch that rotation. We'll come back on TV, of course, if we get a tornado warning. It's not to that point yet. But in and around Dumas, I want you to stay where you are, pay attention, call your neighbors and say, hey, if it's raining, it's about to hail, and let them know what is coming. Extremely large hail south of Amarillo and south of Happy, through Happy, in a couple of places covering the road. In a couple of places we've had tennis ball size hail. Heaviest core right now is in between Tulia and Dimmitt, about to cross the highway, moving to the north-northeast. That hail threat will continue at least for the next 20 to 30 minutes. Heavy rain up and down Interstate 27 from Happy southward toward Tulia, so no travel on 27 in either direction, again, for at least 30 minutes or so. Other storms will start to gradually weaken over the next little bit. Try and get you an update here on TV in just the next 30 minutes or so, if not sooner if we need to, and we'll have the stream going on all of our platforms. Thanks for staying with us here at News Channel 10.
All right, Jay Jacob, check out this hailstone. So right now, we got a tennis ball. So we just measured that. It's a pretty big piece of hail. Okay, you done with this?
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, we're gonna move down the road here a little bit and make sure that's the biggest we find. You want me to text you those pictures?
Oh, you're good. I'm trying to see what the rotation is completely gone. It's more interesting up north now. Gosh, look at all this.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy.
Alright, so you can see it, let me get my camera oriented. But yeah, it almost looks like it snowed from all the hail. Check that out. Just tons of hail. So when you see the pink on the radar and the dark purples, that's what happens. So that's pretty cool. Oh wow.
Alright, let's keep going south.
Alright. And keep moving. Let's just go to this for now. Until my mother watches the stream, she texts me and says, "Stay in the car."
Oh, these look bigger.
Oh, those definitely bounced when they hit the ground. Those aren't very fun when they hit your windshield.
Look at this right there. Yeah, switch over to Lubbock.
Do what?
Yeah, switch over to Lubbock.
So that must have been where the core went, because I'm not seeing a whole lot now.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those stones are 2.1 to 2.3 inch hailstones. Hey, look, it's the
That guy's back window's busted out. Is that what that is?
see if I can. I'll drop box them to you. Oh, severe thunderstorm warning. So that's just, yeah, that's right here. Did you get him?
Yep, I got him.
All right, sweet. You're welcome. Oh, my earbud disconnected. See if I can get that fixed. You know, I love the, oh yeah. I love the wireless ones, but sometimes I miss the... Some lightning.
Still.
Got dust in it.
What's that?
You've got dust in it.
Yeah. Where you can move it.
That's pretty. Watch out, chasers.
Gosh, man. Slam on the
Crazy.
brakes.
Crazy. It's crazy. Chasing hail and tornadoes, and it's still the other chasers that can be some of the dangerous stuff.
Look at that. West.
Yeah. Losing our sunlight.
Yeah, I'm going live.
You're up.
Would you let me hold the phone and you drive?
How about that shot?
That's good. You are live. You are live.
Okay, Doppler Dave and Carol. We're heading south from Amarillo, and this is the big severe storm that we've been tracking that's dumped all the hail down by Happy and covered I-27. We've had broken windshields from some of our chase units. But anyway, this is what it looks like from Amarillo. Fortunately, it's not blasting straight into the city. But like Kevin has been tracking on radar, still dumping a lot of hail and still severe down for Randall, Swisher counties down that way. So just know that here in Amarillo, we got eyes on it should it start to develop our way. But, you know, I-27 is not the place to be with several clusters of severe cells moving across I-27, all kinds of rain, all kinds of hail. So we're just going to kind of continue to monitor as we get down there closer. I just wanted to let folks in Amarillo know that this is what the visuals are from the city. And I know it's kind of alarming when you look out and you see clouds like this. And we have a watch in place, and we've had a lot of warnings, and we've got continuous coverage going. But right now, the threat is not imminent for Amarillo. It'll come down to whether or not we get new development headed away. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until midnight. We've had numerous severe warnings, mainly hail-driven. We haven't had any tornadoes that I'm aware of right now. No tornado warnings, but we'll continue to follow trends, and you can kind of ride along with us. This will be the Randall and Swisher County storm that is currently severe warned on. These are mammatus clouds, and they're pretty spectacular. These are really, really cool. You might have to get a photo when we get a chance up here. So, anytime we get the sun setting, we start to throw that orange color in there. Really looks spectacular. So we're doing some visuals on it. Classic mammatus clouds that are just really spectacular. You know, I've seen it written before and spoken about that mammatus means there's tornadoes. That's not true. That's kind of a myth. Mammatus just means we've got thunderstorm updrafts, and what goes up must come down. This is where the air comes down on the anvil side, the top side of the storm. So that's all we can see right now is the mammatus clouds, indicating that we've got some robust storm activity, but not necessarily related to tornadoes or anything like that. Pretty good. So, I guess you can. And to me occasionally. Jacob, you with me? Okay, just kind of guide me through what we need here for coverage. So this is currently the South Loop, Amarillo, looking at our spectacular mammatus, though. There's a shot right there. I'm gonna pull off down here, we'll get one. That's pretty cool right there.
Dave, just keep on heading south towards Happy.
Okay, will you let me know when we're streaming, when you're taking me?
You are on right now, but I'll move you to the other chaser.
Okay, that's good. When is Kevin going to do an update? Do you know?
8:36.
At 36. Okay. We'll handle it till then, and just let me know when you take Kevin. So, thanks for being on our stream. You can always find us. You know, storm season's gotten off to a quick start And this is what we do. We stream continuously when we have a severe weather event. Yeah, we'll be in and out of TV, generally on the half hours, but in between, and even when you're away from home or away from your TV, if you're out and about and you need info, this is it. You can find us on our streaming platforms. Right now, I'm just out feeding back some live video like you see here with my wife, Carol, and she's being my photographer here for the time being. But just know that right now we don't have a big threat in Amarillo. Kevin's on here in about 7 minutes, and he'll walk us through the radar, the warning map, let us know where the dangers are. Still tracking a lot of hail, and we can see that most of this is down, south of the canyon towards Happy, and that's where we've had I-27 covered with hail. We've had some hail damage, not moving very fast, so we're also kind of concerned about water across roadways. We get a flash of lightning there off to the southeast. Fortunately, we don't have a perfect setup for tornadoes, strongly rotating storms producing wall clouds, but we definitely have strong updrafts, moisture in place, and the hail component of severe weather. Folks need to remember as we get into storm season, everybody's focused on tornadoes, but we have a couple of other dangers that often get overlooked that are usually as deadly, if not more, than tornadoes. They just kind of get taken for granted. Lightning being one of them, but then on a day like today, it's flooding rains. If we get storms that just don't move very rapidly, they tend to dump a lot of water. Water goes across roadways, sometimes very turbulently, and people often try to make it across there. And what you need to know is you don't get two chances. You don't get out into the water and you're floating, and then you don't have any control. You don't get a do-over. So folks need to remember that. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Modest, very orange colored up here off my window. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna get my own shot here. Once again, stand by for a TV cut-in coming our way as Kevin gets ready to jump on. Looks like it's about 5 minutes away. He's handling studio duties here this evening. Of course, we've had our intercept teams out checking for storms, and we want folks to get into the habit of, checking us out during severe weather. Because like I said, we'll have you covered start to finish, and you don't have to be at home with your TV set. You can be at a restaurant, you can be traveling to and fro, grocery store, whatever. If you're wondering what's happening, we'll have you covered. And I strongly recommend having somebody in your family or somebody in your circle, being kind of the weather nerd, being the dedicated weather monitor to kind of track us. That way you'll know when something's approaching or getting close and you need to take shelter. Often, isn't it? Yeah, that's spectacular. Often we hear people say, hey, we didn't have a warning. And really, I think what they're saying is, you know what? I was really watching Netflix and I didn't really know what was going on. Because more often than not, we've got the warning out. It's just a matter of people getting that warning information. So we're on I-27 now. It's down by McCormick, coming up on 2219. Dark bank of clouds down to our south. And this is the severe area that Kevin's been tracking on radar. Kind of started around 5 o'clock. It's kind of ramped up on us here. It's kind of like last night. The storms that have developed, even though they haven't been tornadic or destructive in their own way with all this hail and flooding rain. it's not really blasting in Amarillo. However, I'm looking down to the southwest. Looks like we do have some new development we'll have to keep an eye on, and that's what Kevin will update us on here momentarily. Let us know what's happening there. We'll have a thorough look at radar, not just these storms. We've had others. We've had some up around Dumas. We've had some up around Guyman and Groover. Get the latest on those storms, see what they're doing, how they're tracking. Very good.
So I think we're looking straight at it. So it should be right there maybe? Like right up in here. It's hard to tell. Because the wind field just came out. This is Nazareth coming out, right? So my last reading was 3 minutes ago. Update. Should be right there.
What's interesting is this little curl right there. Right there.
Yeah,
That's what I'm interested in. That's that right there.
Well, good evening once again. Wanted to get you a radar update. Also a reminder, we're streaming on NewsChannel10.com on our Facebook page. I'm getting some chaser video and some other pictures on these storms that are producing some very large hail in some spots. Another reminder, severe thunderstorm watch for pretty much all of the area in effect until midnight tonight. Let's go to our northern storm first, if the computer will catch up to me. There it goes. Okay, in and around Dumas, the heaviest hail that has fallen is now moving just to the east of town. Cell might be weakening a tiny bit, but let's not travel, obviously, in between Dumas and Stinnett here for at least another 30 minutes or so. We continue to watch these try and wrap on the southwest corners and try and develop some sort of rotation. I see a tiny little sign of that southwest of Dumas. It's not particularly threatening with regard to strong rotation at this moment, but we want to keep an eye on that. And Dumas, you're not out of the woods. The hail may have moved on. Smaller hail will continue for another 10 to 15 minutes, but we're going to keep an eye on that, see if there's any rotation that tries to develop, and of course keep you posted. So that again, in and around Dumas, that storm's moving southwest to northeast and will continue to bring some heavy rain, if not some small hail, to Dumas for at least another 10 to 15 minutes. I'm also particularly interested in a little concern just southwest of Tulia right now. We've got heavy rain and some small hail. This is the Highway 27 just to get your bearings right here, but I want to zoom down and take a look at this area right here, about 4 miles west of 27, southwest of Tulia. There is some rotation there. It again is not strong. In the last image or two from the radar, it shows some signs of weakening, but that's one of the better signals of rotation that I've seen through the evening hours tonight. So again, keep that in mind just to the west and southwest of Tulia. The rotation signature is right about there. It looks to have weakened in that latest image, but again, about 4 miles west and southwest of Tulia. Possible rotation there, no tornado warning right now. These storms have about peaked in intensity and should slowly start to weaken a little bit. That Doppler Dave showing a stream and the Weather Atlas showing a stream again on our Facebook page, NewsChannel10.com. They're showing some really interesting video. Dave's heading southward toward and through Canyon toward Happy, where we've had some very, very heavy rain. Number of spots getting some tennis ball size hail. Going to have another radar update as needed. Tornado warning obviously will break back in immediately. And of course, please join us on the news coming up at 10. We'll have some pretty amazing pictures from some of our chasers. Thanks for staying with us here at News Channel 10.
The Tulia rotation is less, I think. Some strong winds. Maybe a little bit lightning freezed up. So we're in Nazareth at this point. It hasn't updated our location.
Continue on 86.
Yeah, we're gonna hit some rain though. The hail core is pretty much right next to Tulia right now. So is the rotation. Okay, 837 was the last scan, so hopefully we'll get another one soon.
Anything special?
Really, mainly rain.
Feels like Friday today.
So see, here's Tulia. So that one behind us is building some hail. But it's back off that way. So it's to our north side.
Anything going on in Amarillo?
just now.
The very first one. All the way up to it. Probably in Kansas by now.
Yeah. Flash flooding to our north.
I think it's pretty much.
Yeah. Listening to it, it sounds like maybe about 15 more minutes. Lake Caribou, there's still some hail in Tulia. I think.
Oh yeah. Talking about. What's up?
No, I was trying to update our location.
Yeah, that one really picked up in pound size.
That's the one behind us.
Yeah.
You have the defroster on.
Yeah, I just
Turn the air conditioner on.
Okay, Dr. Dave and my wife Carol here. Oh,
It's still there. It just looks like it's loosened up quite a bit.
Yeah, about that. It's a stroke. And the chaser in front of us. not used to thoughts. It's walleye.
I think there's some water there.
Yeah, it's big. Watch out for it.
Even cracked open.
You ever drinking water at all? Your Coke. You were Allison yesterday. What are you today?
Seth.
Seth.
Oh, look. Superstorm Seth.
Superstorm Seth. Supercell Seth.
Supercell Seth. So, according to this, the rotation is past Tulia.
Yeah.
So when we get to Tulia, that's when we got to make a decision. What we want to do.
Left or right.
Beautiful CG. Told you.
Perfect timing.
I couldn't have called it any better. Yeah, look at that hail core
Where's that?
by Nazareth. That's the one that built up back there.
Velocity.
That's a little bit. You're good right here. Don't go much farther over.
TBS on it. Right in front of us.
So you're looking at here.
There's the base right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, man. That was worth a while, wasn't
It
it?
was red. Did you see?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Man, it was crazy. you. Yeah, good job. Bunch of chairs.
Built serving trays for all the tables.
Hey, Jacob, what's on the stream right now?
You are, sir.
Oh, it's us? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Great. Well, just welcome everybody that's been watching the different feeds we have. Of course, we have our own intercept crews. We've got a storm team out. We had John Doherty. We've had Tiff West. Scotty Vanderford's been out. Of course, in the Atlas, we've had Alex Ricard, Caleb Leslie. You know, it's one thing to be watching on radar, but when we really get out and get into the storms, we can really tell you exactly what's going on and where, and really give you the impacts. I'm currently south on I-27, just north of Happy, and have not been right in the middle of the storms like some of the others that you've seen. I know John lost a windshield. It's a big hail, so sorry to hear about that. But there's just kind of coming in from the Amarillo side. No major threat to Amarillo or Canyon right now. It's still kind of concentrated around Happy, back to Nazareth, down closer to Tulia, and then off to the east, a place like Vigo Park, maybe Wayside in time out that way. Storm's not moving very rapidly. I think we've seen a little decrease in lightning within the last 15-20 minutes. Still getting some flashes, just not quite as frequent or not quite as vivid. But we'll continue to monitor that, and we're just kind of on the north flank to see if it's going to creep towards Amarillo. We did just kind of get brushed with a thunderstorm in Amarillo about 6:30, but it was not severe, just some rain, some lightning, thunder. By the way, tomorrow's another day that we'll have to kind of sit back and watch the dry line, see what happens. We might have some more active storms tomorrow. Storm season this year really getting off to a bang. And it's early. You know, April kind of kicks it off. We got all of May and sometimes most of June that we're in storm season. We're starting to hit some rain now. And I'm north of Happy, about 5 miles or so. Not in the hail. We'll let you know if that happens here. Kevin's been kind of holding down the fort, NewsChannel 10, and this is our continuous stream of information. You can always jump on, jump off. The storm is getting close to your town or something's really going crazy. You know where to find us. But often it's good to come on, check out your town. If nothing's going on, you can kick back for a while. Not worry about it, but we definitely want to have a go-to source so that anytime you do need information, even away from TV, we'll have you covered. You can catch us on okay, very good. So I'm coming up on the Highway 285. Just to let you know that here in a few minutes, Kevin's going to come on. I think he's got some good news for us. I think intensities are beginning to wind down. Not as many warnings, and I think he's going to kind of wrap up this continuous stream. Of course, it's around 9 o'clock. He will be ready to go at 10 o'clock. So.
Okay, Kevin Selley once again in the studio here. We're going to let our chasers, who have done yeoman's work today, providing some very, very good pictures. But since we're getting further past sunset here and dark, we're going to let Dave and Caleb and Alex come on home. I want to give you a little radar update here, and then we'll close the stream because these are starting to weaken somewhat with regard to the large hail potential and the tornado potential. I'm going to give you a little radar tour. We'll take a couple of minutes. I'll have another update on TV at about 9 or 10 minutes past the hour. So let's do our little radar tour here. Obviously, we continue with some strong clusters of storms. All the counties in pink remain under a severe thunderstorm watch, and that will be until 11 o'clock. The orange boxes are current severe thunderstorm warnings. So let's start in the northern portion of the region, the Oklahoma Panhandle. Still some severe thunderstorm warnings there for portions of Beaver County and the central and eastern portions of Texas County. There's still the potential for some small hail with those at this moment, and I'm not calling that they're going to do it, but I think the Weather Service may let those or cancel that warning a little bit early since the storms are weakening a little bit. That said, some pea-sized hail is still not out of the question. Some strong gusty winds to the east, northeast of Guyman along Highway 54, obviously in Hooker as well. Those are moving to the northeast and will eventually move toward the Kansas border as we go on through the next couple of hours. So still some scattered showers will gradually weaken over the next hour or so across the Oklahoma Panhandle. Let's go to Cactus and Dumas. Dumas, you're now in the clear from this heavy storm. If you've been getting that heavy rain and some hail, that has now moved to your east and weakened a little bit. South of Cactus, I'm looking on the highway there, 287 south of Cactus. We got that dark maroon and purple color. That is still probably some quarter-size hail there. The bulk of that should stay south of Cactus, but for the next 20 minutes or so, you could still get a large hailstone or two popping out of the top of that storm. That cell is developing towards Sunray. So in and around Sunray, you have the potential again in the next 15 to 20 minutes, got the chance to, if you haven't gotten the car in the garage, something like that, got the chance to move or bring anything inside because that potential for some quarter-size hail will approach, I'd say within the next 20 to 30 minutes at the outside. Extremely heavy rain continues south of Amarillo and primarily south of the Canyon and south of Happy. I want to take note of that dark maroon box there that is north of Dimmitt. That's Swisher and Castro counties. Almost the northern half of those counties have had extremely heavy rain, and so now we have a flash flood warning active for those areas. Again, the northern portions of Castro and Swisher counties. Yes, sir.
We're getting reports of blown out windows and baseball-sized hail in Dumas.
In Dumas, okay. I'm going to go back to that storm in just a second. Thank you. Let me go back to the flooding potential. Castro and Swisher counties, extremely heavy rain. Runoff is going to continue for a couple of more hours. So we've got flash flood warnings currently in effect, and we always have that reminder. If you don't have to travel, especially since it's after dark, please do not. But if you do, and you come up on any roadway that has water rushing or even standing on it, please turn around and go back in the other direction. You don't have any idea how deep that water is, number one, what it has done to the roadway underneath it as well, could have washed out. And so approaching that or trying to go through it, even if it looks like it's not that deep, flooding is one of the greatest or the most numerous killers, weather-related killers in the country. So please remember that if you approach any roadway that has water on it, especially moving across it, please do not try and go through that. A flash flood warning for the northern portions of Castro and Swisher County continues. As far as the reflectivity, we continue to see the potential for some hail and a severe thunderstorm warning. The heaviest areas right now north of Nazareth, that is the dark maroon and purple area that is going to continue to move northeastward. So in Happy, I hate to give you this news because you've had a couple of rounds, but rain has obviously picked up. You can hear that right now. The rain intensity may pick up, and from Happy southward in the next 15 to 20 minutes, maybe let's say closer to 20 to 25 minutes, even 30 minutes, another hail core may come by, and that will go across the highway. So travel on 27, obviously extremely dangerous and discouraged here for at least another hour. And we got another area of purple just to the east of Tulia. That's going to go toward Lake McKenzie with the potential for some quarter-size hail near and south of Vigo Park as well. Let's go back to Dumas. Tell me that report again, please.
We've got baseball-sized hail and blown-out windows in Dumas.
Okay. So that's a report having come in, so sort of proof of performance, unfortunately, on that storm. As I mentioned, the cell itself has weakened a little bit and moved east of town. I don't think it would make it to Stinnett or Pringle or Morse because it is, again, showing some signs of weakening. But still some large hail possible, as I mentioned, approaching Sunray from the west over the next 15 to 20 minutes and near and south, southeast, east of Cactus over the next 10 to 15 to 20 minutes as well. We'll have some updates on TV during the 9 o'clock hour. Since the chasers are on their way back, we're going to go ahead and end the stream for tonight, but do know that on News Channel 10, I'll take the next couple of breaks, not interrupting programming, but on at least one more break, we'll give you an update on the radars and give you an update on what's going on, what we can expect between now and 10 o'clock. And then, of course, we'll have a full report coming up on the news at 10 o'clock with some amazing pictures from some of our chasers and a really pretty picture from one of my neighbors. So that's all coming up on News Channel 10 at 10. Thank you so much for staying with us, and we'll continue to keep you posted. Any tornado warnings, which are less and less likely, we would break in on TV and start the stream up again. Thanks very much. Have a safe night.